That's not normal behaviour. I'd say that's deviant behaviour. Hello and welcome to another episode of Mildly Informed with me, Richie Firth, and him, Chris Skinner, and our mantra to inform you as mildly as we can. Chris, how are you?
I'm very well, Richie, although we often record the show with you in the room that you're in right now, and if you are watching this on YouTube, you'll see that. And you still never played the guitar that you keep in the corner to me. And
would you like me to play next week?
I'd love you to play next week.
Okay, cool.
Can I make a request of a song?
Yes.
What level of guitar playing would you say you're at?
Basic.
All right, I'll give you something easy then. Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Okay. By this time next week. Have we got the rights for me to play that?
I think I'm not expecting you to play it so similar to Slash that it will get picked up.
We'll see in the next episode of Mildly Informed.
I'm so excited for next week already. Richie, on this programme, really, there is no point in being here unless you tell the audience and me about some amazing shit that's going on in your life.
Chris, I'm a big fan of the TV show The Traitors, which has versions across the English-speaking world here in the UK. I think we're into our maybe third or fourth main traditional season. And also just before Christmas, we had a celebrity version. I love it. It's great. It's a really good show. But I just have a feeling that this current season that we are 3/4 of the way through in the UK could be the last good season. Oh. And this is the kind of thing that happens on TV shows of this like. A new format is discovered. It's a massive popularity success. Then there is a second season because people think, oh, that was really cool. Then there's a third season. And then you get to this stage where it starts to then just reach the crest and fall away. And I'll explain why. I think this could be the last good one.
Well, this has happened on many other shows like this. Most notably for me was Big Brother.
Big Brother was going to be the example that I would have said, Chris. I kind of thought that actually when you look at it, the second and the third iterations of Big Brother, probably the best. And then people get the idea of how it works and think, yeah, this is how I'm going to launchpad myself into fame with little or no effort or skill whatsoever. And the quality of the TV show then plummets. And I think that's where we could be at The Traitors.
So has someone inappropriately used a bottle in the Traitor's garden?
Oh, Makosi, for those of you who know.
No, it wasn't Makosi with the bottle. It was Kinga.
Oh, that was it. Oh, yes, I'm getting them mixed. Did Makosi do anything inappropriate? Or was it just, am I getting the two of them mixed up and it was Kinga in the hot tub?
Did you have some kind of celebrity affair? There was some controversy, but I honestly, we're talking, and for anyone who is under 35, they are not going to know what on earth we're talking about right now.
If you want to clear up the Kinga and Makosi confusion, mildlyinformedpod@gmail.com. Now, Chris, this particular season of Traitors in the UK, I feel like, first of all, the alarm bells started ringing, where in the first episode, they're all sat there with Claudia going, yeah, I've come in to be a traitor. I've come in to be a traitor. And it was the first season when they're all sat around going, I want to be a traitor. I want to be a traitor. They all want to be the star. They know that if they are picked as a traitor, they're going to get the increased screen time. They want to be the star. What is the further evidence of that? Well, this time, the wardrobe of the traitors and all of the contestants, the wardrobes are way more out there than previous years because they know they want to come in and they want to be a star. They want to be seen. They want to have some kind of career once this TV show has finished. So if they can wear crazy jumpsuits and clothes, then they're going to get more attention. That is why I just think that this is the last good one, because if you get another one after this, it's only going to be even more. They're having to mess with the format even more just to keep it current. I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying this season, but I just have this sense that this is the last good one.
Okay. Well, that's I'm gonna have to reveal I haven't watched a single minute of this season.
Oh well, that to me says you may have been ahead of the curve, and you dropped out after the last one.
I love the format. I think the concept is amazing. What I would say to counter you, and it might be that the show evolves in this way, the celebrity version went down even better than expected.
Yeah.
And I wonder if the future for the show is actually just as I think it already is in the USA, to become a celebrity format as opposed to a public facing or public starring format.
I completely agree with you because they're already stars when they are in there. Kind of, at varying different levels, but some of them are maybe wanting to reboot themselves or whatever, but they don't have that hunger when they're going in. It's kind of like, oh yeah, this would be cool. And also we know who they are as an audience anyway, so we're not trying to second guess them as well. I do think going forward, probably the celebrity version will be the one that is sustained, and your punters, traitors will fall by the wayside.
Yeah, we all just get a bit Icarus, don't we? I can't say that I wouldn't, when surrounded by 15 TV cameras, knowing there's an audience of 5 million at home watching, I can't say I wouldn't play up to it.
Yep. Icarus is the syndrome. I'm going to review the latest season in the UK of Traitors and give it 4 stars. I'm enjoying watching it, but the lack of the 5th star is just the acknowledgement that this, in my opinion, will be the last good one.
It's an interesting 4-star that reads like a 3, I have to say.
Chris, what have you been reacting to this week? What's on your mind?
I've got an obsession with White Gladys.
Now, who is White Gladys? Is this a budget spin-off of White Lotus that I'm not aware of?
I would pay to watch White Gladys in a epic 8-part drama, 100%. So White Gladys has been all over the news this week, but not in any top story kind of way. Like when you go to sometimes it's the science section or the environment section or the international news section, 3 or 4 stories down. But in every news outlet, there are stories about White Gladys.
Now that is why you're aware of this and I'm not, because you fish in different news waters than what I do.
And that, Richie, deliberately or not, is a very accurate way of describing this. Because White Gladys, as well as being something of a cult leader, is also famous for living in the sea. In fact, not just famous for living in the sea, but for being a killer whale. AKA an orca.
Oh.
Let me give you the White Gladys backstory.
I'm interested. I want to be informed because I know nothing about White Gladys.
5 or 6 years ago, apparently Gladys, probably whilst pregnant.
Can I just say, you don't need to say apparently or probably, because if Gladys is a killer whale, she's not going to take any legal action against you.
Okay, but the story may or may not be entirely accurate.
That doesn't matter. Defame her.
I'm going to retell this story with complete accuracy and drama then, in a way that you want me to.
Thank you.
5/6 years ago, White Gladys the Orca had a run-in with a boat while she was pregnant. It was a traumatic instance for White Gladys.
Right.
White Gladys, Gladys, of course, being a nickname or a short for gladiator, basically fought back. Gladys has become the leader of her pod and has led her pod into attacking boats, ramming boat rudders, causing damage, basically looking like they could sink some small boats.
Wow.
With people on. What they do next, I'm guessing it's sushi time. Now, killer whales in generally, orcas, are already known for being amongst the smartest animals in the sea. There is a real problem going on in South Africa at the moment where great white shark colonies are getting hunted down and wiped out by orcas. That's how nails orcas are, yeah?
Wow.
So they're already known to be super intelligent. And this pod is super pissed off. And they are going for boats in the just off the coast of Portugal, the other side of the Mediterranean, the Atlantic side of the Mediterranean. And here is another amazing fact about them. Experts in the field think orcas all have their own language. Yeah? All they have their own base sort of clicky kind of language. Yeah, you can imagine it in your head. Gladys and her clan have learned or taught each other a new language, completely different. The quote from one scientist in one of the papers was, if you imagine all orcas that we've known so far are speaking Latin, these are speaking Arabic. It's like
Wow.
indecipherably different, and they are hunting down boats, and they're being led by this kind of Boudica-like character who's like, you will not do this to me and my family. And I urge everyone to just go down the White Gladys wormhole. There are YouTube videos about it. There's a whole bunch of articles. I mean, I think I'm reporting this to you in the middle of the story, not the end of it. There is more to follow. And I think actually it could be pretty epic or just really tragic. One of the two.
I've got a feeling it could be tragic because White Gladys and her friends have got every right to do what they're doing. They're just doing
Yeah.
what they do, aren't they?
They're just being orcas.
Yeah. Which I find fascinating because when we were kids and growing up, I wasn't aware of the term orca. They were just called killer whales. It's almost as if another pod has actually decided we need to rebrand ourselves. Can we just be called orcas? Because
Yeah.
there was a moment a few years back when my youngest son was, in that curious age where they're trying to learn about animals and creatures, etc. And I thought that killer whales and orcas were two different things. And then realised, no, they're one and the same thing, and they've had a rebrand.
This show is called Mildly Informed, so I'm going to mildly inform you here, as in I'm possibly wrong. Killer whales aren't whales. And I wonder if part of the cleaning up of the title is to reflect the fact that they are actually a type of dolphin, not a type of whale. And so that could be part of the move away from calling them killer whales.
Orcas aren't whales.
Yeah, orcas / killer whales aren't whales. They're actually a type of dolphin.
Well, that's fair enough then, because that was then our ignorance to call them killer whales. So equally, does that mean that whales do not kill?
Good question. I mean, I don't know if there are any types of whale that hunt people. Whales definitely eat fish and crustaceans and stuff.
I would say that whales eat krill.
Yeah, which is definitely a type of animal.
Yes, but killer whales haven't been called killer whales because they eat more krill than whales.
No, I think they're proper hunters. Like they hunt sharks, dolphins, other fish. Yeah,
and it makes sense that actually
I think their favourite meal is tuna.
Okay, well they're obviously not very good at it because there's so much tuna in the shops.
So you're saying, why won't these orcas compete with this massive industrial human shipping industry?
I would say to you that we could solve the problem off the Portuguese coast with White Gladys if John West took less tuna from the sea.
Yeah. So you're saying the future death of a sailor off the coast of Portugal could have been avoided if John West was less greedy.
And if I preferred other toppings on my jacket potato to tuna and mayo and cheese.
Would you have tuna mayo over baked beans and cheese?
Yes.
Oh, it's a toss up for me. Both for one, and also veggie chili also as a third option.
Chris, I feel more than mildly informed. You've educated me.
I give White Gladys, the badass of the sea, 5 stars.
I bow down to White Gladys. And at that point, here's a message from John Smith.
John Smith?
Oh, no. He's a dead politician. John West. That may well not have been a commercial from John West, definitely not from John Smith, but this is Mildly Informed.
Richie, I feel partly educated on the world right now, but I feel that you can help me feel fully educated.
Chris, I have been gifted a HelloFresh box over the last week. Now, let's be to clarify this. I've not been paid to say what I'm about to say on this podcast. This is not like a commercial wrapped up as part of an episode of Mildly Informed. Somebody shared the chance for me to try a HelloFresh box, so I was like, okay, cool. It's January. I'll give this a go. Now, if you're listening abroad, you might not know what HelloFresh is. It is a company that deliver fresh food to your house in a cardboard box. And it's got all of the ingredients for all of the meals. You don't have to go to the supermarket and buy it and weigh it. Everything is perfect for you, but you can then cook that fresh meal in the evening, or if you want it as your lunch, that's absolutely fine. And that's how the business works. I've not tried this before, but I thought, well, let's give it a go. January's a good month to give this a go. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Are the portions big enough for you?
So these are my observations. The first thing about it is I love the fact that I've got food in the house that I haven't had to shop for. I know you can kind of have a bit of a vibe of that if you have your shopping delivered by a transit van, but this is great because it's like all of a meal. It's there for you. Secondly, the instructions come, so it's not as if you've got the food in from a transit van, but then you've got to go online and go, right, okay, so how do I do this? How long this for? It's all on a lovely little recipe card. That's great. And my third point is the answer to your question. The portion sizes are absolutely massive. I've been finding that I have done a meal in the evening, but then had enough left over to reheat as a bonus lunch the next day.
Well, that is surprising for me. And I can't remember if it's HelloFresh or another one of those companies.
Because there are others that exist.
There are. And I quite liked the flavours, although I was like, well, now what do I do? Because I'm only half full up and I haven't got any food in because it's all packaged.
You didn't find that there was enough of a portion size for you?
No, it just wasn't good enough. Like the flavours, don't get me wrong, enjoyed the flavours. I quite like the simplicity of it all. But Chrissy's a hungry boy and I was left wanting.
The flavours are fantastic. On the recipe cards, it actually does say how many calories are in each of the meals. So I put it to you that this is a problem with Chris Skinner, who likes to do triathlons and stuff like that, and needs a lot of fuel in him, and not a problem with HelloFresh.
That's possibly true. I mean, maybe they should have like a hungry boy tick box for those who like to, you know. I mean, I like yesterday, Richie.
Yeah.
I cycled to and from work, and I swam before work, and I worked like a nutter all day. I get home, I'm not having one packaged meal. I'm eating 3. Really. I mean, as soon as I get home, I'm spooning peanut butter back straight away before dinner even starts. Then I'm having dinner. Then I'm having a cake. Then I'm having some chocolate, and I'm still hungry.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that you will take a jar of peanut butter, get like a little, I guess a little teaspoon, and you're eating out of a jar of peanut butter as if that is how it's meant to be consumed, rather than spread with a knife?
We haven't spoken about peanut butter on the show for a while, although I have said in the past it is my favourite food. And I often have many different brands, different types of peanut butter in. Over Christmas, I made my own peanut butter. And we have to talk about this more in another episode. But yes, I'm more into the protein than the carb, which sounds a little bit like I'm a twat, but I'll go with it anyway. And I literally, the big thing that I do that is different to how you described it possibly is it's not a teaspoon, it's a dessert spoon. And I get in and I scoop in and I eat peanut butter straight from my 1 kilogram size tub.
Wow. And how is your wife with that caveman-like behaviour?
Oh, mate, we've been together for so long, nothing surprises her anymore.
Has she given up on despair?
I'm really close to my 11-year-old daughter. And we became even closer yesterday, just yesterday, when she saw me doing that. And for the first time ever, she went, "Can I have a spoon?" And I got her a different spoon. And this time I did get her a teaspoon. And I let her spoon into the tub. It's pip and nut that we use, by the way. It's
Okay,
currently
yeah.
my favourite. The dark roast pip and nut.
Mhm.
And she was like, "Yeah, that's pretty good."
We've gone off topic here, and I
We
will
have.
rate HelloFresh in a second.
Yes,
but
sorry
I do
about
want
that.
to ask. No, I do want to ask you a question. I can't remember what your views on Marmite are, but I know that you like funky flavors. Have you tried Marmite peanut butter? Because I like normal peanut butter. Marmite peanut butter, I think, is absolutely amazing.
I would rather you shaved your back and I ate a bowl of your back shavings than eat peanut butter. Then eat Marmite.
Yeah, but
I
I'm
don't,
talking about Marmite peanut butter.
I don't care if it's like Marmite anything on this planet.
I'm disappointed in your answer because it sounds to me like you're passing opinion without having even tried it. And I
Your
thought,
back or the Marmite?
I thought that you were more open-minded than what you're displaying right now.
I'm an extremely open-minded guy.
Okay,
The two
pause.
flavours I don't
Pause.
like in life.
You haven't paused. If I knocked on your front door at 5:30 on Sunday evening with a 1 kilogram pot of Marmite peanut butter, and I said to you, Chris, here's a teaspoon. Please take a teaspoon of Marmite peanut butter from my jar. I'm not going to come across your threshold. I'm not going to come inside. I just want you to do this, and then I will leave. If you choose not to do this, I have a boot full of my back hair for you to bath in tonight.
I promise you, because I'm an open-minded guy, I will try it.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed.
I also have to say that what an awful pair of options you'd give your good mate. A man who has said he only hates two flavours, one of which is Marmite, and then offers the option of his back shavings. It's...
Can I just, I want to test myself here. You said that you only hate two flavours, one of which is Marmite. I'm trying to remember the other flavour because I feel like I should know it, even though I'd forgotten that you didn't like Marmite.
It's a real basic bitch one.
Is it honeycomb?
No, I like honeycomb. Don't like
What
the
is it?
texture, but I like the taste.
What is it then?
Coffee.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
Literally any other flavour in the world, I'm open to.
HelloFresh, 5 stars.
Okay, 5-star that reads like a 5 from you and a 1 from me.
No. A 1? You can't give that a 1 star.
I didn't give it a 1. I give Marmite a 1 star.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
What else is on your mind?
I would like to talk to you about something I've been doing since the start of December, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Shaving your back.
No, God, I mean, I just wish I could, but I just don't have the reach or the capacity to do such a thing all the time. I started going to my local Lido to swim. As soon as the weather got cold enough. So the pool is heated. Yeah, it's not hot, but the pool is heated to like 20 degrees. And I've been going once or twice a week before work. And I used to really love swimming. I used to absolutely love swimming, and just stopped about 7 or 8 years ago. And so I decided I was going to go to the Lido, and I swam 400 meters, which is 8 lengths of the pool. So it's like not nothing, but not much really. And I found it really hard work. And I went back the next time, and I swam 500. And I think I did that. And I basically, sort of maybe every second swim, I upped the distance. Yesterday morning, I swam 1 kilometer.
Wow.
And I'm getting a little bit quicker, and I'm feeling a little bit less like I'm drowning and I'm going to die. And I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm really loving it. The colder the weather, or the rainier or the windier, the better. I feel like genuinely when when you strip down to your swim shorts, you go outdoors, you jump in the pool, and then you swim, like, that mixture of the cold air and the warm water, and you get out again and you're sort of sweating and the cool air coming. There's just something very like a real pleasurable sensory experience about it, as well as the satisfaction of the exercise, as well as getting better at the thing. I've kind of re-fallen in love with an exercise of old, and it's a really nice place to be. And specifically, Rich, it's not just swimming in a pool that's done it. I think it's the outdoors element of it. It's the swimming in the Lido that has really made this a mwah for me.
I have questions. I love the idea of this. We've got a Lido in Ware. I don't know whether it's open all the way through the year. I'll have to find out. But I know in the summer and spring it's very, very busy. But I love the idea of what you're describing. We talk often about being time poor on this show. I enjoy going swimming when I can, but I'll do that in an indoor pool in Hertford. You say that the pool, we all know it's cold outside at the moment. You say that the water is heating to around about 20 degrees. What would be the heat of a bog standard council indoor swimming pool so that I can equate that?
Yeah, that would be on maybe the colder side of normal. I think typical, I could be wrong. I'm guessing your typical municipal pool would be 20 to 22, 23. Maybe the kids' pool would be 24.
Yes.
Something like that.
So your Lido is on the colder side of normal.
On the cooler end of acceptable. Like, you don't jump in and go, really.
I would imagine, because it's outside and it's cold, you're getting in and you're going, oh, this is all right.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's warmer. Even though it's not a warm pool, it's warmer than being out of the water, which again is, I think, messes with your head a little bit.
So I'd imagine on a nice morning you get down there and there must be sort of like, looks like there's steam coming off the pool, right?
Exactly that, Rich. It's so steamy and misty. It's love. Oh, it's love. Like, sometimes if you go really early, it's so misty you can't even see to the other end of the pool. Wow.
Now, next question. When your swim is up, how quickly can you get from by this point, nice warm pool to hopefully some kind of nice warm indoor changing room? Because I'm imagining that getting out bit must be horrific.
So it's okay because you're sort of hot from the swim because you're quite worn out. I go straight to the outdoor shower. It's a warm outdoor shower.
No.
It's a warm outdoor shower, and a genuinely hot one. And then I get dressed in the outdoor, obviously with a roof on it, like the cabin outdoors. I don't go into the indoor changing rooms.
So would a normal person have the chance to go into an indoor changing room?
Well, there are indoor changing rooms. I would guess maybe half of the people use those.
Well, I'd say the other half are not normal.
I think anyone swimming at Lido in January is not normal, to be honest.
But that's fine. But then to get out of the Lido and then choose to still change out, that's not normal behaviour. I'd say that's deviant behaviour.
Okay, I'm not saying I'm not a deviant. And the thing is I know I have to just get on my bike.
I am saying that you are a deviant.
Okay, for clarification's sake, I thank you, and I'm prepared to lean into my deviancy. I then just get on my bicycle, and then finish my journey to work because it's like about a quarter of the way to work. So what's the point in going into get myself properly dried, and I just throw my Lycra back on and cycle in.
So
and then have a shower at work.
I was going to say you must have 2 showers then.
Yeah, I do.
That's once again, any person that is choosing to get naked and wet twice before 9 o'clock in the morning, that is only underlining the deviant behaviour.
I and my fellow Lido pals in London Fields or wherever they are in the world, I celebrate your deviancy. We are together.
I see you. Didn't you go naked swimming in like Devon or Cornwall last summer or something or other? You were at some sort of. I swear we had a conversation, and you went naked swimming in front of dog walkers.
No, that is such a mistelling of a story.
No, it's true, isn't it?
No, I didn't. For a start. I did go to Devon and Cornwall last year, but this story was from Spain.
Fact number 2 was correct then.
I was in Spain, not Devon, so no.
Okay, all right.
And I didn't go naked swimming. I bought a towel to hide my nudity so as I didn't expose myself.
So were you naked when you were swimming?
No.
Of course you were. Because you're not swimming.
I've changed.
You're not swimming. You're not swimming in a towel.
No, I used the towel to cover myself up whilst I changed into swim shorts.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about
You
this.
don't know. For the record, I would be quite happy to swim naked. I have swum naked in the past.
If this was in a court of law and there was a jury watching this, everything about your behaviour, the hand movements, the shouting, the way the story doesn't add up, all of this points to deviant behaviour.
I mean, I don't care.
Exactly. There you are. That's almost a confession.
The thing is, if I had done it, I would very happily own up to it with pride. But sadly, in this instance, I haven't done it.
Rate it.
5 stars.
What a surprise. He loves it.
Do. Richie, tell me one more thing.
Old football was better. Old football was better. Let me tell you how I can tell you this. I went down a YouTube wormhole a day or so ago and found on the ITV Football YouTube channel some 40-minute edited highlights of the 1989 Championship finale at Anfield between Liverpool and Arsenal. Now, for full disclosure, I am obviously an Arsenal fan, so watching that was quite interesting. But what I'm about to point out is not about football affiliation. It's not about the fact that Arsenal beat Liverpool at Anfield in the last minute of the season, and it was the most dramatic end to a league season ever. No matter what Manchester City fans say about beating QPR with Aguero in the 93rd minute. Here's my observations from watching the 40-minute highlights. First of all, if you were in a part of the stadium in 1989 that had seats, you sat. If you go to a football match these days, just because you've got a seat doesn't mean that you're going to be sat for 90 minutes. People just stand up all the time. And you're hearing announcements going, please, persistent standing stops people and blah, 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 blah. If you had a seat at this game in 1989, despite how tense and incredible it was, everybody was sat. That's the best bit. That's number one. Number two, my next observation, every single footballer had a shit haircut. Nobody had like tram lines razored in or like styled to within an inch of their life and taking corners. But because they know the camera's on them because the corner, they're restyling their hair. Every haircut was shit. They just concentrated on playing football. And then thirdly, the two commentators, Brian Moore and David Pleat, the Spurs and Luton Town legendary manager, they barely say anything. They're just literally commentating on the football and what's going on in front. And David Pleat, Brian Moore's just a commentator. David Pleat is the footballing expert, and he adds little bits of expertise and then shuts up again. What you don't have is some budget pub comedy double act of a commentary duo trying to crack gags and tick off stats that they've prepared. Old football was best.
David Pleat once picked me up in his car and gave me a lift.
Did he really?
Yep.
Now, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Whereabouts was that, Chris?
North London. Not King's Cross, though.
I just wanted to check, and we'll leave that for people to Google. That's interesting. I've always thought David Pleat was a good co-commentator.
And he's a nice man. He very, very, very personable. And we went to a cafe restaurant, and he knew everyone in there and shook everyone's hand. And it was like, oh God, this guy, is a charismatic man. You can understand how he did so well in his career. I understand a lot of what you're saying. The one point I think you're missing out on, and clearly the game that you were describing there was a enthralling game of football. Like,
agreed.
Again, taking any partisan views out of it, it was a sensational game. However, I would argue that your average game of football then was far inferior to a game that would have been played in the Premier League from, I would argue, from around the mid noughties to about 2020, where I think everyone was fitter, more dynamic, less of an alcoholic, and just generally, and the range of players coming into the game, from all around the world, I think rose the level of talent. I actually do think watching football right now is pretty dire. I mean, even very much including my partisan views, but even away from that, it's a very physical game right now, and there's not much. Goal of the month. There's not really many great contenders these days, is there? And
do you know what? It's language is important, and I think actually you've helped me clarify a little bit about it. It's the experience of watching football that was better than,
as opposed to the quality of the football on show.
As opposed to the quality of the match that we're talking about. Because, I'm pretty certain that some bang average Premier League, maybe even Championship team right now would beat both of those sides that were on that pitch back in the day because people are fitter and more professional. But it's the experiences that go with it that I was looking back on this 89 YouTube video and thinking, oh my God, this looks so much better. Weekend just gone in the Premier League, not Premier League, in the UK. It was an FA Cup weekend. And so there was no video assistant referee for one weekend. And it was great because it meant that when a goal was scored, as a fan, part of the experience of going to a game of football, you could just be happy.
You knew it was a goal. Yeah.
You knew it was a goal. There was no sort of having to temper and look at the linesman or thinking, oh, hang on, this joy that I've just experienced could be taken away. Everything about it was just so much better.
I'm taking my youngest to watch Orient tomorrow. And guess what she's most excited about?
The food.
A bag of chips.
Brilliant. So it should be.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Go on then. So, are you reviewing the viewing experience of old football? Is that what we're reviewing here?
I am reviewing the viewing experiences of old football compared to current football. Yeah. And I'm talking about what it's like to be in a stadium back in the day, what it's like to watch it on telly compared to now, and the haircuts of footballers from back in the day. And old football scores 5 stars.
Nice. Well, I guess I've got nothing else to say now.
Well, I've got something very important to say, and that is that this need not be over should you become a Patreon. Because on Patreon, there is more of this. There's not just love from Chris and myself, but there is more accurate takes. That's a lie. So go and find us on Patreon, Mildly Informed Pod at patreon.com. If you're leaving us here, do leave us with some comments on the YouTube channel, or of course on our socials at Richie Firth or at Producer Chris. Mildly Informed will return, but continues right now on Patreon.